So it's time to reminisce, and it's time to catch up with a fan favorite, one of my favorites, one of my favorite roommates as well, Futty Danso. Futty, welcome on. Good to see you. How are you?
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad to be with you guys.
So we're going to be reminiscing. Can we reminisce about us being roomies, first of all, on the road back when we played together, center back partners? Obviously, Stephen Keel was thrown in the mix there as
Yep.
well as we rotated through, but you and I were actual roommates on the road, reminiscing on that time. Good memories?
Yeah, it was definitely a great time. You can see the friendship we still have started from those roommate times. Those days actually lead up to this, kind of wonderful time that we have in here. We had like a lot of, I would say heart-to-heart conversation, and that build up our partnership as center backs. We definitely figured things out, just not on the field but off the field, which was great, and it did help us a lot, throughout that season, having a great season that year.
Well, good memories. I want to take you to a memory that stands out for everybody, especially on the anniversary 10 years ago against Chicago Fire, the first ever MLS match at Geldwin Field.
Yep.
And that night, when you look back, the score was 4-2. It was the
Yep.
first 3 points for the Portland Timbers in MLS. But
Yeah.
what stands out to you right away when you think back to that night?
Yeah, it was a big night. Leading up to that night, I knew I had a national team game that I had to. I was like, I need to be back for this game. I'm not gonna miss this game for what. I had to negotiate with the national team to get me back earlier, so Spencer can put me in his plans, because it's like, you need to get back. I don't want you flying like 28 to 48 hours coming here late, and then kind of force you to go through this thing and get injured. So I had to negotiate everything to get back. So I remember our first game was away in Colorado. Then the other two games were away as well, because the stadium was getting ready. But then I was a national team, so I had to pretty much come back early, because I was like, that's like I don't think people know the magnitude of this game and how important this is gonna be to the fans and stuff, and I don't want to miss that for a minute. So I get in, I think 3 days earlier than I was supposed to get in from the national team, because we played and I left the same night from Gambia to get here on time. And then Spencer was like, I think I'm gonna start you. I was like, kind of like, yes. I was like so excited leading up to this game, because kind of like, just being in Portland, you would know what to expect. Most of the new guys didn't know what to expect. They would hear it from fans and all that stuff. So I knew it was gonna be a big, big game, and I was ready for it especially when I knew I was gonna start. And it was a rainy day. It was kind of like soaked, and but it's something that I'm used to, been playing in Portland for longest of time. And stadium start filling up, warm up, and then players start finally kind of sinks into the players how big this game was gonna be. The media was hyping it. Timbers home opener, Timbers home opener. Everybody around the world was waiting to see what the Portland Timbers are gonna do now that they're in the big league. And of course, the fans didn't disappoint. And now it was up to the players to try and step up their game, and make sure that whatever Portland was about, they would put it on the field. And I remember we get into the huddle, and John Spencer was like, "These are the moments that you make your name as a player.
Mm-hmm.
These are the moments. This is the first game for the team, and the stadium has been, new stadium. The fans are like 20,000 packed. The atmosphere was good." And then going through the national anthem, when all those fireworks were going up, I think that's when it actually hit me as a player too, that okay, this is like bigger than just Portland playing Seattle the year before. Even though it was a full stadium, but the stadium was a little bit smaller, but you can still see how busy it was. Game goes on. Palazza, I think in the 20 something minute or something like that, midway through the first half, Palazza scored. I was like, sigh of relief. I was like, but still, we've lost our last 3 games. We didn't have the results that we want. So these teams have been in the league too long. I'm still new to the league. I was like, do not make any kind of mistake here. Don't be over.
So your emotion when he scored?
Yeah, I was like, I
"Oh,
don't know how to even kind of like go through that motion of like how to be excited, because I feel like at that point I'm becoming more of a, kind of like I was being more of like just not a player for the team. I was becoming a fan of the team and the city as well. So I had like this connection with the fans. Like, back in USL days, we would have like a lot of things that we do with defense. We will go out to like, places, meet defense. And after games, we kind of like was have that luxury of hanging out with defense for a little bit. So I had that connection. So I kind of feel what they were feeling. So when Palazzo scored, I was like, oh man, I don't know how to even celebrate. But then I was like, you still a player, calm down, do your job. Then I think Rodney scored. And that's when I start feeling like, okay, this might be the night. And it was raining. They say in Portland, if it's raining, Timbers don't lose. So I was like, I hope that's one of the days. So we went down. Second half,
your memory's great.
Yeah, I mean, second half was like, we went in, we were leading, and then, Spencer was like, make sure this is like, kind of like just hyping us up, how Spencer is. And it was great, like Jack was there. Jack was being a veteran. I mean, I had like guys that were like, kind of like being in the league from other teams start finally realizing what's going on. And everybody was like, this is the time that we need to get our point. Like the locker room was like, everybody was just, ha, ha, ha. Like I was like, in my head, I was like, just do not say anything, just calm down, finish this game and get excited. Then I think the fourth goal, which I claim to be mine.
Okay, well, I wanted to get into that with you because it was 3-2, and it was
which
around
I claim
the
to be mine because, I mean, that was the goal that kind of like, through the celebration, you would tell how much of an excitement and how much of an emotional thing that becomes to me. Like, I was like just bouncing in and out, scrambled, nobody can clear the ball, nobody can kick it in the goal. I was like, I'm just gonna throw myself. I think I took Jack or Eddie Johnson, the British guy.
Eddie Johnson was right beside you as well.
I think I took both of them with, I don't know who was around. I was like, I'm just gonna throw my big body in there. Hopefully it will hit me. I mean, threw myself, and then once the ref blew the whistle, I was like, okay, he's gonna blow a foul. Because I just came in and just put myself in that mix. Then he pointed to this center circle. I was like, I mean, you can, I just kind of like, I was like, I don't even know. Normally I would run to the fence, but I was like, I'm facing this way. I'm just running up to this side.
There's an iconic photo that I'm sure you've seen with you and Jack Dewsbury looking.
And I'm going to post it today too.
And you're going to post it? Well, it certainly looked like you were claiming the goal in that moment as well. So.
Hey, I was like, this is my goal. And then, after the game, they were like, is that your goal? I was like, yeah, I think I definitely touch it. I knew I had no. I mean, I don't think I didn't touch it. I might kick the guy that was trying to clear the ball, and then he kind of like falling down instead of clearing it. He just put it in his goal. But from that angle of the camera, it seems like I'm the one that just threw myself in there. I was like, "Yep, I'll take that goal." Hopefully, the bonus will come in too.
You're still waiting for the goal bonus to come through.
Yeah, still waiting for it. I'm gonna claim that from MLS.
10 years later. You look at it after the game. So you won 4-2, and then you do the lap to applaud all the fans is what we've come accustomed to with the Timbers. And then the log ceremony, the first one in MLS era. What were the players thinking? Did they know this was going to happen? You did have a game, a US Open Cup game against Chivas USA, where I believe Timber Joey sliced off a few logs. That was a couple weeks before. But this was the first time at Childwin Field in MLS. Did guys know what was going on with 4 log slabs being presented?
Yeah, like some of them will be like, what's the point of this whole log? I was like, it's been a tradition in the team. If you score or the goalkeeper have a clean sheet, they should, which I think center backs should do get this log if we get a clean sheet, because, but they were like, oh, then there will be a lot of log. I was like, I'm not going to change the rules. But some of the guys, kind of like start wondering, like, how much or what they are in for playing for Timbers. It's not just the club that you come in and play, game is over, fans, kind of like don't have that connection with it. I was like, it will become a family. Eventually you guys will realize that. And I think that was the game that most of them actually start realizing that this is like a family setup for just not like a club.
So afterwards, how do you digest it all? What followed from there? Can you take us into the locker room afterwards? And were you able to get some sleep that night? What did you do afterwards to celebrate?
Man, I mean, we walk in, how you take that victory lap, like most of the guys, and that was the first time, like the whole stadium, the fans didn't go until I think we went into everything. So once we get in, and then Spencer was there, of course, hyping us up still, kind of like, just not letting that fire go down. I mean, he was just like, everybody was like super excited. You get your first win on MLS, and everybody was like super excited. Congratulations and stuff. And then I was like, now I can actually think about this game again. But before that, I think I'm just gonna go out and just enjoy this night. I'm not gonna like go home and just. I had to go out. I mean, you go out in the city, the fans are still within the stadium. What's that bar called again? I think the Marathon.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
a bar. Yeah, that's
Right around the corner.
Yep, right. Oh, you would know.
I was probably in there closing it down with you that night.
I mean, yep, it might be. So, I mean, some of the guys, I think I took, I don't know, but I went with 2 or 3 players. Like, hey, let's go to this place. The fans would be there. They were like, really? I mean, I know James and Khalif definitely were like, oh, let's go home. I was like, no, I'm not letting this night. I'm not letting this night die right now. I think we had a night off the day of the following day. So we end up, celebrating after the game with the fans and stuff. So it was a great one. It was a great one, definitely. I had to go home the following day. I think when I woke up the following morning is when it actually hit me that, we actually get our first 3 points in the league. You're in the big league now. I mean, you played your first game in MLS. It was a good one. And, from there, it was just history.
Well, you've continued to make history and the amount of great memories that you created. And I love the fact, Futty, that you're back in Portland now, 11 years from when you started to 10 years later back in Portland. Thanks for catching up, reminiscing. And I know on the side, you and I have a lot of reminiscing and catching up with you, and I look forward to it.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time. Whenever I hear Ross's name, the first game, I think I was like that Man City game. When we played at Man City at UP.
Well, I felt like I was hanging on for dear life just to stay.
No, it was good, man. I remember there was a tackle that you went in, you missed the tackle, and I just came in. I was like, nope, I'm just gonna go in. Like went through you, and I think it was Bellamy.
Yeah.
Went through both of you. I was like, yeah. I'm trying to get to the big league, my friend.
I remember for 44 minutes we did so well against Adebayo, and then they popped 2 goals in, and we were down 2-0, and then the second team the second half, a different team came in.
Yeah.
Oh man, great times. Hey, Futty, appreciate the time. Appreciate the catch,
bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
We'll cut off there. Hope you're okay for time.